everyone. I am back. I feel so much better. I had like a really nasty case of the flu and it turned into a sinus infection, which I'm still kind of getting over, so my voice is going to sound a little off, probably on and off throughout the video. But I'm back. I feel good, and I have been waiting to finish this. So let's finish it.
Day and some snacks? Does that mean hitting all of the food groups? You're gonna have your fats, you're gonna have your fruits, you're gonna have your vegetables, your starches. Are you gonna have all of that? Great. That seems
Are you
really
gonna go for
amazing.
a little walk for
Are
your
you
mental health and your well-being?
right? Are you gonna do
Absolutely.
therapy? Right? Are you
Absolutely.
gonna have some time?
Are you
Yeah.
going to cut some toxic people out of your life?
Yes. Are you gonna set
Bravo.
you're gonna set
Bravo.
boundaries this year? Yes, I want you to focus on your health this year if that's what you're saying. But if you come to me and you're saying, "Oh, I really want to be healthy this year because I just don't want to be fat anymore. I want to lose the weight." Then I think that there is a deeper conversation there, right?
And
I
that's
know there
exactly
was
it.
for myself when you guys
Yeah.
before were really talking about, people being new to a different point of view. I am that person, right? It is only within the last year where I've been like, oh, like I don't need to be like I'm not morally wrong because I'm fat.
Right.
I'm not
Fatty.
I'm not a bad person.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
need to do more because
So something that was interesting. I was on r/fat logic yesterday looking things up, and there was like this almost PowerPoint that an FA put up, not on Reddit, but someone found it and posted it on Reddit, and it was talking about moralizing and stuff, and it seemed to bring, and I mean, we've kind of gotten this sense from the fat acceptance movement. It's something that we've seen, that it's just been kind of there. And it's that moralizing involves saying that someone is responsible for something. And that is like wrapped up in the morality, which is different than how I interpret morality. But if we follow that line of thought, then I understand a little bit more about why they say, you need to stop moralizing weight. Their idea of moralizing weight is by saying that you are responsible for your weight. And a good number of the fat acceptance group seems to believe that weight is either entirely genetic or weight like is just completely out of their control, and so to say that it is in their control is therefore moralizing it and therefore unfair, when to me those are two separate things. Moralizing and saying that you are responsible for your weight are two different things, and I'm kind of curious where that conflation comes from, because moralizing to me would say that it is like ethically bad to be fat, which I've heard some people actually argue. I'm not really interested in the moral argument for or against obesity. Like I'm not interested in it. I think that everyone is responsible for their weight. Like I'm not saying that there aren't hurdles that can be very individual for each person's weight. Maybe you have um medical conditions that make it harder to lose weight, so therefore it is going to be harder for you than other people. But that doesn't mean that it's a moral failing. It means that it's an accountability failing. Like it's that sort of thing. And or like even putting this off, maybe you just haven't found the right combination of things that work for you. Like it's hard. It's hard. And the funny thing is that I've heard from both FAs that it's like, oh, being thin isn't a result of your hard work. It's not an accomplishment or anything. And to that, I'm just like, well, you haven't done it. But regardless, but then I've even seen like fit influencers saying that losing weight isn't hard. You're just lazy, and I disagree with that. I think losing weight is hard. It's a matter of changing how you live and stuff in order to be more conducive to a healthy weight. And I think it's hard. I think it's hard, and I think we should acknowledge that it some people may have an easier time than others, but for a lot of people it's hard. Doesn't mean that it is still there's anything moral going on, but there's still like some accountability to be taken into consideration here.
I'm fat, I can just exist and be.
Yeah.
So I think it's when we're really talking about the New Year's resolution, it is coming down to all of those microaggressions against being.
Okay, I'm sorry. Not fully related to the channel, but I really hate the term microaggressions. I really fucking hate the term microaggressions because it feels like anything can be a fucking microaggression. Like microaggressions are one of those, it's different from like racialized comments or like ignorant comment, like anything that like is like, no, that's racist. um or microaggressions feel like sometimes it feels like someone can just use an old turn of phrase, not realize the necessarily the connotations there, or maybe they don't even have connotations associated with it. And like even as a woman, the you throw like a girl is often put as a microaggression. And at this point the phrase seems outdated to me, but to call it a microaggression I think is to make it more serious than it really is. And I don't know. I have a hard time with the term microaggressions.
That, right? It's not necessarily about the health message. Sure, we want everyone to live a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely.
100%, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we all need to be in straight sizes.
Well,
And
that's
healthy
like
lifestyle doesn't look like one thing.
Right. And
Correct.
exactly. It's healthy lifestyle, what that means to you. And that also goes along like what you're saying and what Rebecca said, like it's being able to have those conversations where it used to be that a group of fat people together, all they talked about is how are we going to lose weight, right?
Yeah.
Like my only experience before meeting you guys was truly being in a Weight Watchers group.
Right?
And it's like all we talked about was our calories or
Well, yeah, all you're gonna talk about in a Weight Watchers group is your calories and stuff. It's a weight loss group. To me, that just says that you didn't explore enough other spaces. Did you have a hobby before that? Like, I don't know. But like I was an anime kid. All right, 14, I went to my first convention. There were plenty of like bigger people, obese people there. And like there were plenty of things to talk about that weren't related to diet and fitness. To me, one, I don't think that you can be like, "Oh, all we talked about was, our diets and stuff in a Weight Watchers group." No shit. Like no shit. What the fuck? It's a weight loss group. Yes, that's what you're going to talk about. So if you wanted to like be around a bunch of other fat people and not talk about that, the thing to do is to not go to a Weight Watchers group. I'm sure there's plenty. Like NAPA has been around since, what was it, the 70s, or I want to say 80s, but no, I think it was like the 70s. So like there've been plenty of people around. Plenty of people around to talk about things other than diet. Fat people around to talk about things other than diet. If you did not see that, I'm sorry, but that is on you. Until we were in a Weight Watchers group and all we talked about was our diet. Well, no shit. No shit. God, that fucking irritates the shit out of me. No shit, you only talked about food and weight loss and shit. You're in a fucking Weight Watchers group.
our points and what we ate that day and what we're going to eat later. Like, and it was just, we were obsessed. We were obsessed with food, right? And just like our
Not obsessed. It's a Weight Watchers group.
intake and our outtake, whatever. And it's like being able to just have normal conversations and just be able to talk about dating and
You're not gonna talk about dating in a Weight Watchers group. What the fuck? I'm sorry. But like, oh my god. You're in a fuck. You want to talk about dating? Go to a dating group. There's plenty around. You can even like. I'm sure there's like fat dating somewhere online, maybe even near you, depending on your location. But you're not gonna talk about dating in a Weight Watchers group.
I mean, well, dating, and I'm going through a divorce and like just normal
Life
like
stuff.
life stuff,
Life.
you know, and not just like every time that we get together. Okay, guys, let's get out our points handbooks today and count. You know,
Yeah, I've
like,
been good.
It's literally a fucking Weight Watchers group. I do not understand your difficulty. Like the whole point of the group is to lose weight. The whole point of the group is to follow the Weight Watchers manual, which includes counting points and having a point journal and all that shit. So, yeah, you're not going to necessarily talk about your divorce or dating or life in general. Those can be like side talks, but the whole point of the group is to lose weight and follow Weight Watchers. So this just seems like a fucking bizarre take. If you want to talk about dating and stuff, there's plenty of groups for that, I'm sure. I'm sure. Like, I find it weird that you expect to be able to talk about every aspect of your life in a Weight Watchers group. Weight Watchers. What? Ugh, oh my god, this. It kind of goes back down to. I almost feel like there's like an entitlement here of, well, why aren't we talking about everything that I want to talk about? This is what part of the reason also why I don't typically join hobby groups. One, I like my own company plenty, so I'm not much of a socializing person, and like I socialize a lot as part of my job, and I'm very introverted, so having like my weekends and evenings as a quiet solitary moment is better for me. But even in general, like I bounce back and forth between, god, 50 different hobbies. I'm not the type of person that's for a group that's solely dedicated to like one specific hobby, because I get bored with it, uh, and take a break with it, and I'll like come back around later. But the people in the group, it tends to be their like sole hobby. It tends to be like their only thing, so that's all they want to talk about, and that's cool because that's what the group is for. I don't expect to talk about like trying out new millinery techniques in a knitting group. It's not gonna happen.
Good. I've been
Exactly.
bad.
Exactly.
Good,
And like,
yeah.
Like what?
exactly. So being able to have just actual friendships that aren't based around our bodies and what we look like, and again, I do think it is important to say, again, we're not anti people who diet.
No.
We're anti diets, like it, because again, it is.
If you're not anti people who diet, then why do you have such an issue if dieting is part of someone's New Year's resolution? Like, I understand that you're anti diet, but then don't demonize people that, like, if you're anti diet, then so this is the thing. If you're anti diet, that means you're anti diet for you. All right? That's fine. Personal choice, do whatever. But then to act like dieting or whatever as part of a New Year's resolution is dumb, to call it like stupid and what and bullshit and whatever else, and to act like it is a horrible thing for something to do. You're more than just anti-diet. You're anti-people who diet, which, like, own it. Own it. Like, there's a bunch of people that are anti-whatever. Um, and that's, like, it's a difference of opinion. I think the big difference is whether you can show people a level of respect without completely tearing them down. Like, here's the thing. I'm anti FA and I'm anti people who are in FA. And I condone that. I think that the whole movement is toxic. I think people that are like have their death grip on FA rhetoric are absolutely intolerable even as people. There's a few exceptions, but typically while you are in the for the most part, while you are in a fat acceptance movement, you are intolerable to listen to because everything wraps around often like back to you as a person. Like everything is an affront to you specifically. Everything is attacking you specifically. It cannot just be a difference of opinion. Everything is like you're oppressed or whatever, and that's one of the big things that I have an issue with the fat acceptance people. You're anti-diet. You're anti-diet because people that follow a lot of diets, often it is a big focal point of their life, and you don't like that. Fine. Fine. You can talk about the movement and or that's not even a movement, but talk about the habit, and you don't like it and you don't think it's good. Totally fine, but like own up to it.
Zero. I mean, there's research out there. 0% of diets work long term.
Please cite your sources, because this is a new one for me. 0% of diets work. Really. So, the glycemic index diet for diabetics, it doesn't work. The DASH diet for people that consume too much sodium, or like, I think it's a heart health one. I know that's a medical diet of some sort. It doesn't work. Really. Keto for people with, I think it's, epilepsy. Is that what keto's for? It doesn't work for them? Really? This is the issue with like totality type statements and this all or nothing mentality. You make yourself look foolish.
0% of diets. If they worked, you wouldn't have to keep doing it, right? That's the thing. It's like,
I'm sorry. That makes no fucking sense. That no. Let's compare that, okay? Let's say you know how to knit, then you don't have to keep practicing to get better. It's the same kind of logic. If diets work, keeping on the diet will allow the diet to keep working. Like, it's not a magic pill. What the fuck? No, if you're on the diet, then you're on the diet for good, basically. It's a lifestyle change. That's what will make it sustainable. Crash diets, no, don't work. Don't work because they're meant to be used for only a small amount of time to lose a ton of weight. And then, yeah, as soon as you go off it, you're going to gain the weight back. I don't understand how you're not seeing the logic here.
none of these things, like even, I mean, the big buzzword, and we'll do a whole episode on this, right? But the big buzzword, things like Ozempic, Mounjaro, things like that, right? Again, we're not shaming anybody that does that, but in order for that to be a permanent solution, you have to keep taking it. It's not like this miracle drug that's just, oh, I took the shot for a little while and now I'm skinny forever. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. So instead of focusing,
You're right. That's not how it works. The only thing I will say though is that I think Ozempic and Mounjaro don't necessarily you don't are one of the things where it's like you don't necessarily have to stay on it the entire time if you are adjusting your because the whole thing with Ozempic for weight loss is that it's meant to be as a tool, meant to be an appetite suppressant to help you stay on track with healthy eating. But if you're not establishing the healthy eating and you're relying entirely on the Ozempic, no, it's not gonna make you thin long term. I don't. It still is a tool. Like it's a tool. And if you're establishing healthy eating and stuff, and you can keep on that even when you're off it, then you'll be fine. But if you're only taking it and not changing your diet habits at all, no, it's not going to be sustainable long term. Like obviously.
on just constantly focusing on how am I going to make myself smaller, maybe the goal is let's start on the inside and figure out why is it like why is it, and it is for me. I know that it is because my whole life I internalized all these messages from society, from my mother, from the media, from everything of I, I just needed to be smaller. There was not going to be anything redeeming about me until I was in a smaller body.
Yeah, that's the magic cure. That's how you
Exactly.
fix everything.
Yeah, everything's going to be better in your
I'm sorry you felt that way, but I think that's a little bit like. And here's the thing: as a teenager, you do take things to the nth degree. You're not valuable or anything unless you do X, Y, Z, and it tends to be external things. That's, I think, somewhat typical of a teenager. But as you get older, the idea is that you recognize a person's value is multifaceted, and even inherent depending on your particular view. And your weight matters little to who you are as a person. That doesn't necessarily mean, though, that it's not important to still maintain a healthy weight. Like the weight may not matter to you as a person, but how you handle the weight matters. Does that make sense?
life when you're smaller.
As
Just
long
wait
as
until
you're
you're smaller.
I think one of the things that like concerns me the most about this and is rooted in my experience as a teenager is a lot of these like behaviors around dieting, around making it a goal or whether that is an attempt to connect with other people. It's a way of fitting in and you mentioned earlier like connecting with femmes. It was a major part of my life of connecting with other women is the talk of body maintenance, body getting smaller, etc. And one of the things I've had to really work on because my body is a large part of my identity is changing the way I talk about my body with other people
And that's part of the issue. Your body is a large part of your identity. I don't get that. I mean, I guess in general though, I don't really get people that their appearance is a huge part of their identity. And we're talking appearance in like being pretty or being thin or whatever. Like I understand wanting certain things, but it being a huge part of your identity is weird. Like I want a muscular physique. I want to have that really strong body. I don't equate that with who I am as a person. That being said, I tend to not put labels on myself a lot because I find them unhelpful. Like I want to be able to change my mind or whatever, and once you identify something as part of who you are, it becomes harder to change. So I prefer to not nail down any of that and just I am who I am. I like what I like. I do what I do. And how that's perceived is how that's perceived. I don't really care.
And what ways I allow them to talk about my body, because bodies are going to change constantly. My body has changed a lot over the last year. I don't want to talk to people about my body changing. It's really no one's business. And also, I just think it's weird to like comment on other people's bodies.
Mhm.
Like, I can have a fat identity.
And yet you guys spent the whole first part of this talking about how awful it is for people to have diet and weight loss New Year's resolutions. I don't like if you think it's weird to comment on people's bodies, then shouldn't it also be weird to comment on people's dietary choices and fitness levels and what their goals are for those things? Shouldn't that be weird too?
At lots of different sizes. And that is way more in scope with a lot of lived experiences than the particular jean size I'm wearing at the moment. And so I just think there's a lot of ways in which the larger narrative that we get pulled into through these advertisements, through these conversations, really shapes how we talk about our bodies, how we relate to other people based on our bodies, and again, who we decide is good or bad. You know, there's a lot of shame, I think, for big people because if you ask them what their New Year's resolution is. They feel like they have to have one because to them it's the most publicly facing thing that they need to atone for.
Yeah. 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 It's like your body's not an apology. You don't have to be like, okay, well, I did the things. I did the things and now I'm worth it. Right. Because trust me, I think at least, I don't know, I can speak for myself and several other people on this couch. I know that we've tried it. I know that we have tried it and been like, okay, do I matter now? Am I worthy now? Am I valuable now? And trust me, until you start fixing the shit on the inside, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I'm gonna rant. So I'm gonna get off of that rant and I'm gonna ask a question. So with all of that said and all of everything that we just discussed, if I could ask each of you to come up with not a New Year's resolution, but just one intention for this year that has absolutely nothing to do with your body or health or anything like that, right? And I mean, health, it could be that, if it is something that benefits your mental health, absolutely, please, whatever, but nothing to do with your body, please. Like one intention, if you could just top of your head, what would it be? I'm gonna start over here.
My New Year's intention is to travel more.
Yeah.
Spend more time with the people I really love and care about and do cool shit with them.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. All right.
Oh, you're gonna skip yourself?
Oh,
You
yeah.
come last. Okay.
I don't have one yet.
When I think about like what is an intention, it's really like what am I facing in my life? Because I'll admit, like my first thought doesn't go to what would make me happy. I will say this past year I've spent way more time with my friends than I have in any year prior. Like I think there hasn't been a single week that's gone by that I haven't spent time with a friend besides the 1 week I had strep. So I will take that. That's a major change for me. I went from someone that spent a lot of time alone. But this year I need to take back a little bit of like control over what stresses me. And a lot of that is financial stress. I've been trying to work on getting another job. It hasn't happened. And I really need to commit to it for my peace of mind, but it's hard because so much of it's out of my control, right? Inflation's out of my control. Apartment prices are out of my control. Being a single person is out of my control because I guess I could date someone, but like I'm not going to date someone just for that sake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the extent to which I can work on that goal, questionable. But I would like it to be a less stressful thing for me in the future.
So your intention?
My intention is to put some time into figuring out income streams for myself.
Okay.
And my intention is to
spend less.
Push myself into Maria.
I mean, that's one of them.
I mean, it's
but see, my initial reaction is her saying that is me be like, if I feel forced into something, I will reject it. So no pushy, you know.
Not pushing.
Let me do what I'm gonna do, okay?
I'm not pushing.
Okay.
I'm
Gently nudging.
Gently nudging.
Not allowing my friends to judge me. And living peacefully.
No judgment here.
No judgment.
Only
Right.
love.
Melissa.
I have spent so much time not living my life because of my body. And I know we said not body oriented.
It's okay. I can see where it's going, so it's okay.
Thank you. I've spent so much time just saying like, I can do that when.
Yes,
I can do that when. I can do that when
I'll do that after I lose so much weight.
Yeah.
I'll buy the bikini once I have a bikini ready body.
And I'm just at a point in my life where I'm just like itching to like live.
Yes.
Like I just want to say yes and I just want to do things. So I think right now, my resolution is to just like be, you know, to just live. If something sounds exciting, I want to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say yes to things.
Your
Yeah, I
intention
love
is
that.
to say yes.
Yeah.
Say yes to the things you want to say yes to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
We did take Alyssa to go shopping for clothes the first time of the day.
So
and it
much
was her
fun.
first time going shopping with other fat women. Yeah. And it was super fun. I came home and I cried.
Oh my goodness.
Alyssa cries a lot. We love that for her.
Listen, I'm at a really emotional point in my life because things are like really changing. I swear I'm never usually this sappy. I hate crying.
I love it.
I love
Be
it.
in touch with those emotions.
It's so
Absolutely.
disgusting.
Absolutely.
But
My intention for this year is to get a fucking job. That would be a large one for me. I quit. I quit my 10-year career at the end of 2022 when life kind of threw me a pretty big curveball. And I have spent the last year kind of a little bit drowning, but also learning that I used to think that reaching out for help meant that
You failed.
I was drowning and I was going to make other people drown with me, and absolutely that I failed. But now I realize that I have people that are not going to drown with me. They're throwing out the life vests.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we got you. We're going to help you keep your head above water. So I think it's definitely to stop rotting all the time. There's definitely time for rotting, for intentional rotting, but stop rotting all the time, and definitely get myself into a better situation so that I can be in a more, what am I trying to say? In a better environment for myself than where I am now. And not, I'm trying to get
More
rid of
independence.
the toxicity out of my
Yes.
life. But yeah, that's my intention for this year.
So the National Film Board commented on the last part of this and noted how they tend to demonize New Year's resolutions that take a lot of personal effort. And they actually tend to celebrate ones that require money. Now, there's a couple of ones that, two of them are talking about getting themselves in better financial situations, which I think does take work, and, you know, good for them for focusing on that. I will say though that just their like mentioning their intention, like I want to get myself to a better place, that's not a great way to set a goal. And I say that not to shame them or anything, but just like it kind of goes to show why maybe their previous goals have failed. Like I'm not even one for SMART goals, but having a clear definitive this is what I want to complete this is where I want to get to is to me like imperative for a good goal. This kind of wishy-washy stuff of, I want to get um to a better place and whatever is so vague that it's hard to pursue. And maybe that's why they struggled so much with their weight losses, because they're like, I want to get thinner, but they don't like quantify what that means. And then the other one, which the National Film Board also kind of pointed out, is that they tend to lionize ones that like involve spending money and don't really challenge you. And the girl that said she wanted to travel more, that's a pretty like obvious one. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but to demonize um, intentional weight loss and getting fitter and stuff that requires a lot of effort, only to say that you want to travel more, like, I don't know. There's just something there that is like, well, what what is that? Why, like, that it pretty much just involves spending money pretty much. And then the other girl that's like, I just want to say yes to things I want to do. To me, that's one, again, very vague, and two, that's not very challenging. Not that it has to be challenging if you don't want your New Year's resolution to be challenging. I mean, again, you do you. But it just kind of lends to, why is the ones where you want to spend money or where you're not really challenging yourself okay, but ones where you are challenging yourself, you guys are demonizing. Why is that? You know?
These are all
Good
good
intentions.
intentions.
To
Yeah.
just get rid of the toxins, not in my body, but in my family. So
Just little ones. Yeah.
just,
little.
just the little ones. Just the little ones. We will do an entire episode on going no contact. So yeah. This was fun. This was a fun episode. I liked it. I liked it. What'd you think?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, you guys liked it? You guys feel good about it?
I feel like with a little bit of rage,
Yeah.
but rage is fuel to a fire of moving
Yes.
forward.
Yeah, not New Year's resolutions, New Year's rage.
Yeah.
And we have it.
Yeah.
Not a healthy outlook to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, rage can have its place, especially in terms of like survival situations. But to embrace rage, I think, is setting yourself up for a very hard existence.
We have New Year's rage.
Yeah,
so
and I think it's just
Happy
like,
New Year.
yeah, and anything can start however we want. Like you can make a choice every day new for whatever you're wanting to that day. And I love that. I love that about life.
100%. And just keep in mind that smaller does not equal better. And that's not to say that the thins are bad. Like, that being smaller is bad. It's just, you are worthy. We are worthy. No matter what. Not in spite of.
Genuine question. This kind of general, you are worthy, we are worthy. What does that mean? What does that mean? No, and who said you weren't worthy exactly of whatever it is you're getting at? Like, who said? I just genuine question.
Just period. You're worthy. Period. Not despite your weight, despite your height, despite your financial status, your marital status, anything. You're worthy of all the good things. And if no one has told you that, or if anybody has made you believe that, whether that is a friend, a partner,
A stranger.
a stranger, or your own family, then you have permission to relearn that from us and start at ground zero with us right here, that you're worthy, period. There's no but.
Make that your New Year's intention.
No buts. No buts this year, except for the big ones. But no buts. There's no you're worthy, but you're worthy if you're worthy. No, you're
I
just
will
worthy.
win. No.
Yeah.
We do today.
Yeah.
We do today.
Yeah, right now.
And if you don't have any fat friends in your life, congratulations. We have some fat friends here for you. We hope
Pick
you'll
me.
join us with conversations in the comments and such. But also go find your local fat friend group, because we're out here existing and we all need some friends.
We're out
Speaking
here.
of which, shameless plug, CLT Plus here in the Charlotte area. We welcome you. Come join us. One of us.
One of us. One of us. Seriously, it has changed my life connecting with other fat people. It really has because it has it has changed the way that I move throughout the world. It has changed the way that I truly used to try everything I could to shrink myself, and not just by dieting, but by making myself uncomfortable to make everyone else comfortable. And now, absolutely not. I will be the first one to say, I'm not sitting in that booth. I will take a table. No, I do not want to go to that restaurant because all they have are just horribly small, tiny metal chairs
High top.
and high tops. And no, my feet will go numb. No, thank you. Like I'm done making everybody else comfortable just because my body is different than theirs, and society says that their body is different than mine. No, I'm just I'm gonna go where I feel good, and I'm gonna if that if that pisses other people off, I don't think I care anymore.
No,
I don't. So
it's your life.
Yeah.
You gotta live it.
you get one life. We have one life. So
Say yes.
why waste it counting calories? And I mean, if that's what you want to do, we're not shaming you, but like you get one life.
And they're kind of like backtracking a little bit. Like if that's what you want to do, we're not shaming you or whatever. But it's like, yeah, but you kind of were earlier. Okay. Anyway,
Ask for a table instead of a booth. Be comfortable. Don't shrink yourself.
If you're counting the calories, count enough for the brownie.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Get the Dolly Bar brownie.
seriously, eat the brownies, man. You get one life. I never want to. I never want to like get to my grave, be like, I really wish I had eaten that brownie. Like, no, absolutely not. That's just not going to be.
Yeah, when the Grim Reaper's knocking on your door,
Yeah,
I'm not going to be like, wish I would have lost those 50 pounds. Damn it. Can you come back later?
Right. I'm going to fit as much life as I possibly can
Yeah,
into
live.
however much time I.
to be fair though, like if the Grim Reaper's knocking at my door, my first thought also isn't I should have eaten the brownies. Personally, I'm thinking more about the stuff that I didn't try or the things that I didn't learn, or like food is not at the top of my oh my god, I regret not doing that list, you know?
Have here. And just because I'm a fat person does not guarantee that I have any less time on this earth than you do.
Yeah, I was just imagining someone being like, the Grim Reaper's coming,
I know,
cutting
they're going to be here tomorrow.
But not only that,
Health
but
is not guaranteed to
even-
anyone.
right, even if health is your concern for me, don't do that. Like,
Don't hide
your-
behind
Your
that.
job isn't to worry about my health. Your job is to worry about your own self,
Yeah.
and not to project this idea that you care so much about a stranger under this false pretense of my.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really care about their health. Like they're grown women, they can do what they want and what they think is right with their own bodies. That being said, I don't like the pushing of the narrative that uh, any diet or weight loss focused resolution is the internalized result of diet culture or some bullshit. Like, that's what pisses me. I don't care about you or your body. I don't care about these women or their bodies. They're grown women. They can do what they want. I do have an issue with them sending out this message that diet culture is the only reason why you'd want to lose weight. Like it's that over the top messaging that I have an issue with, not what they do with their lives personally.
Health,
Mhm.
because you don't know me from the next person, so you don't care about my health. You don't care about my wellness. You care that I
And not
exist,
publicly like,
and that
oh, shame on
I'm
me.
literally causing you to question everything you've ever learned
And your
just
health,
by being.
your
Yeah.
health should not be a barrier to common decency and
Right.
human courtesy and respect.
Common courtesy.
Just common courtesy.
It comes, it's free.
Amazing. Just be kind. Just be kind to people.
Maybe take that little thought and just,
Sometimes those things that you want to say, like, oh well, you're gonna die tomorrow. Those are inside thoughts. We keep
Inside
those on the inside. Keep those on the inside.
I'm hoping most of our listeners are the ones that receive those, and not that I want you to receive those, but aren't the ones thinking that way towards other people.
And if you
Because
are,
if you are, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done.
you should go to therapy this year.
Yeah.
Make that one of your
That's
New Year's
goal.
intentions.
That's your New Year's resolution.
And we love that for you. Yeah. So anyway, this has been amazing. We're gonna get better at this as we go. And we really hope you've
I don't know why, but like that is it just me or does the Fat acceptance movement say like you should go to therapy this year? Like they always use therapy almost as like a weaponized insult sort of thing. Like if you think in any way that deviates from them or something, you should go to therapy. Now don't get me wrong, saying, oh you're gonna die tomorrow, whatever, that's not a nice thing to say, and I don't think you should say it to people. I don't know. It almost seems like they're using go to therapy as like a derogatory statement. Which I find weird and like not good for destigmatizing mental health like they say they try to do.
enjoyed this. I'm gonna come up with a fun sign off right now. What am I gonna do? Oh, in order to
Did
piss
we
off,
even identify ourselves?
we did at the
Did we?
beginning. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I guess
And
we
then-
didn't
Maybe
really
we
like.
should reiterate.
We should reiterate and maybe tell a little bit about ourselves.
I mean, yeah, that was.
All
I
right.
think the different perspectives we bring is nice. Like,
We do. Maria, our resident alt girl and unicorn fan. Maria, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi. Now that you've heard a little bit about me and my trash meter, I'm Maria. I'm the. I am going to be everything from your sassy commenter all the way to your little sweetness. And it really depends on the moment, on the minute. It could vary.
How much sleep she's got?
How much sleep I've gotten, how much I've been around gremlins in my life. All these little things are going to really impact that. But I'm either going to bring the sweet or the sassy. And there's no in between. So, yeah.
We like to call her our little Sour Patch Kid.
I
Because
really
first
am.
she's sour and then she's sweet.
And then I'm gone. So enjoy me while you can. So yeah, I'm going to be your spicy, sweet, nice, but I'm going to be mean to you because I love you.
But there will always be sparkles.
But there'll always be sparkles.
Always sparkles.
Sparkles, glitter,
Rage.
right. In a big package.
I love that.
Big
Love that. All right. I'm Allie. I talk too much. I'm going to work on that for the next episode. But I am full of opinions. And I am, how would we describe me? I don't know. I don't know.
your screen name is Lights Camera Alley.
Oh yeah, my
Yeah.
screen name, my screen name, my Instagram name is Lights Camera Alley, which tells you everything that I need to know. I will put on a fucking show.
Main character energy.
I have main character energy, and I would.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not usually one to say someone's cringe or something, but to say that you have main character energy says a lot about like, dude, it's kind of cringy. Like, you're the main character of your own. Everyone is the main character of their own lives. To say that you have main character energy, I don't know why that rubs me the wrong way so much, but it does. It makes me instantly dislike her. I mean, I didn't really like her to begin with, but it's just so arrogant. I don't know.
100% admit for anybody watching this who is hate watching me right now. I feel like there will be.
Oh, I think we're technically considered hate watchers. Let's hear what the message she has for us is.
At least one of you.
There's at least one
We
of
see
you.
you.
That I used to think I was the main character in everybody else's lives, and I 100% have done the work and understand that everybody should be the main character of their own lives. But if you spend more time worried about what I'm doing than yourself, then we have a problem. I have a problem with you. I will cause chaos if I feel it is warranted.
If it's deserved. If
it's deserved, if you're being mean to me or you're being mean to my friends, I will cause chaos. Only warranted chaos. I love
So interesting. What's her definition of chaos is my question.
very fiercely my friends and select family members.
And then leave them.
I don't know. I don't think I'm here to entertain.
Yeah.
I am here to entertain. And that's it.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have to say. I don't know.
We might need to separate them next time. They're apparently more loud and energetic on these things than we are. But I just feel like we're like the quiet ones on the corner over here.
Have you met her?
I know she's not quiet, but a little bit quieter today. But that's okay.
She's straight lying to you.
She's a liar. She's a lying liar.
Liar.
Right now.
Me? Did they just call me the liar?
We are calling you the liar.
No, I thought you called Rabuka the liar.
Yes.
Rabuka's lying.
Yes.
I'm not lying.
No.
Are you
There we
both
go.
lying?
Rebecca's a liar.
My name's Rebecca.
I'm a liar.
I get regularly abused by my friends. And it's because I take it, A, but I am not as boisterous as them. But I do whip out my middle finger a lot.
Whips it out.
They get it on a daily, okay? So yeah, my name's Rebecca, and
Also Rebecca. Also
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Also.
and now you understand the middle finger.
Just
Like, do I even get to say my piece? No, like, they're gonna talk for me, Maria. Putting words in my mouth. I see you over there. And I'm gonna have to fight with them on the daily. But I do love them deep down. I have to remind myself sometimes. And yeah, so I've been like plus size fashion blogging since I was 22. And so I feel like I have a length of history with plus size community, but I'm also still constantly changing and evolving with my thoughts around my body. I will go ahead and throw out there, because some of you will come with me over a long history, that I've had weight loss surgery, and that does affect my feelings and perspective sometimes, because sometimes I can feel insecure about that decision, but also like I'm still fat and I have a fat identity perspective. And I'll mostly say that like when we start getting anti-diet talk, I will start internalizing it being like it's anti-me. And that's why we're saying no, okay? It's not necessarily anti-people who have gone on diets or done things like weight loss surgery. But I get that perspective if you might feel that way sometimes. And yeah, I am the only single one. I am unloved. And
We are.
Hug you. I don't even hug people.
good Lord.
How weird.
And I'm also the one that like they go on dreams and I'm like, but let's talk about the logistics. So I'm a little bit of a Debbie Downer, and I'm here to bring that all the time. Might be the reason I get abused sometimes. But yeah, that's me.
Not to me.
I feel like I should be talking during these, but there's not really much for me to say. I don't really know why they decided to do this at the end here. It feels kind of like a time filler. There's only like 3 minutes left, so we're gonna just go ahead and let it play. It just feels kind of weird.
my name is Alyssa. I come from the arts world, so I'm involved in the performing arts. I got involved in the fat community because I found myself in recovery for a restrictive eating disorder. And the eating disorder world is just innately fat phobic. And I was really struggling with connecting with people. And it has been a very long journey to find this community and just be able to connect and share through lived experiences. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just doing the work, going to therapy multiple times a week, and hanging out with fat friends.
Yeah, fat friends.
I think that Alyssa is like our resident like therapist / counselor. She always has something very wise to say about our feelings. And I love that for us.
She really
'Cause we
helps
don't
us
have to pay for therapy.
think through things. She poses the best questions
She really does.
without judgment.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
love that
Oh,
for
thanks,
you.
guys.
Yes.
We do.
And for us.
Nice.
We do. Okay, so in order to wrap this up, I have thought of a little thing I want to do where in order to spite someone who really hated fat people, the famous words of Coco Chanel, nothing tastes as good. Was it her or Kate Moss?
Oh, hell if I know.
It was one of those. I don't know. One of those skinny people. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we don't hate skinny people, but people who hate us. We hate them. So nothing tastes as good as macaroni and cheese. What about you?
That's funny.
That really switched gears.
It did, right?
I thought you were going to say the whole thing.
I know, and I'm not going to. How about you?
Okay. Mine is going to be oatmeal chocolate chip cookies.
Hey.
By Allie.
Hey. Dolly Parton's fabulously fudgy brownies. Get them now.
Right. And listen, nothing tastes
as good as homemade pasta on Sunday night.
What an Italian
I was
statement.
gonna say.
Like sweet.
All right, they're basically done, and I don't really feel like watching the last minute of them talking about food. Like, it is what it is. That was the first podcast, New Year, same year, from for Fab Fatties. And I gotta be honest, it kind of felt like they backtracked partially through part of that, where they're like, but we don't care what anyone does. It's like, but you just spent the first half doing nothing but judging people that go to lose weight and get fit as part of their New Year's resolutions. But whatever, these guys will be very interesting to keep, like, I want to keep covering these guys. We'll be covering them. They're going to be part of my rotation. And I look forward to covering them again in the future because they have some very strong takes that they don't really seem to say with their full chest because they backtracked in this second half. So, like, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't really have anything bonus to share like I try to at the end of these videos because, like, I was so sick. I was basically, it's the first, like, I almost never doom scroll on anything, but I had no energy to even read this past, like, week and a half, almost 2 weeks. So I don't have anything to really share. But yeah, I'm feeling much better. Thank you all for your understanding last week and not having a video to post. I am going to be recording the next part of the hierarchy of debate sometime later today. And yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you next time.